Da dun dun da dun.
Brain time.
Debate podcast. Hi, welcome to the Big Brain Time Debate Podcast. My name is Seth. Luckily, that is not our permanent theme song in any way, shape,
I was kind
or
of
form.
hoping you would go really high on the very end, but you know.
And that is Luke joining me.
Hey. Guest debater LJ Richardson back here again.
Oh, and I'm Jared, and I'm gonna try not to say anything controversial for the next 2 minutes.
We'll see about that.
I love how you're restricting yourself to 2 minutes, even though these episodes are 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, technically 30 if you put together the entire debate.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, actually, we changed the format.
Oh, the format's different now?
Yeah, the format is 10 to 15.
Okay.
Yes.
It used to be 30 minutes, so that we got 15 times that I said something controversial every episode.
Yeah. But yeah, this semester I realize it's probably, considering the lack of seriousness of our debates, it made the most sense to leave it at a nice quick 15 minutes.
Okay, I see. Okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah, so then last time, for instance, we had you recording for 30 minutes, but that was 2 episodes.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Still gonna try to convince you to let me and Kyle do a 30-minute special before I move back to Chicago of us doing a political debate. But I know that you probably won't let us, so.
He's guilting me because he's moving away. How could you do that, Jared?
You should do it. It'll be fun.
You could just send us into a room and shut the door and just listen to what's
Let me
going
sit in
on.
there too. I'll just be the laugh track in the back.
He'll be the comic relief of the whole thing.
Yeah. All right, so today we are debating oceans or space, because those are two very, very big, very scary places we don't know a lot about, but we like to go to sometimes. And so in terms of research, or even just to go there because it's cool, we are debating which would you rather do. And me and Jared picked the beautiful wet oceans, because where it is better is where it is wetter. Where it's wetter is where it's better. As a wise, potentially Jamaican lobster once said. Not lobster.
He's a crab.
Crab.
And he's slightly racist because he's voiced by a white man.
So Jared.
I wasn't the first person to say something controversial this time.
Nope.
Nope.
So, what's my argument? My argument is that space is scary and the ocean is less scary. Also, I think it's significantly easier. I mean, I think the whole process of going, I can't prove this, but it seems to me that the process of going down to search the ocean is significantly easier, cheaper than going into space, where into what you have to shoot a rocket off into space, which takes years and years of planning, and you have to if you ever want to if you want to exit the spaceship, you have to stay hooked onto the thing. And in the ocean, I think it's a little bit easier to get out and explore. Also, there's so much more of the ocean that we haven't explored. And yes, I recognize that there's pretty much everything we haven't discovered about space, but how much could we possibly discover about space? Because it takes 60 years to get to another planet.
You're throwing out a lot of
That's
claims
not-
there.
that's
I
not
know
my
your
response.
response.
Here's the thing about exploring the ocean. What do you know about water pressure going down there?
The further down you go, you can't.
Yeah, everything that we can very easily explore, we've pretty much explored on as close to the surface where water pressure really isn't an issue. Problem is going farther down into the depths. Number
We
one,
must go deeper.
it's very dark. Number two, the pressure is enormous. What little we have explored down there has all been done by robots without being in pressurized things. In actuality, you are more in danger of being crushed down in the depths of the ocean than you are then you have to be afraid of decompression in space.
So
And for space, I'm going to go back to history, back to John F. Kennedy, one of our presidents, the youngest president of the United States.
Yeah,
Kids,
Jared.
History facts.
are you
And
opposing JFK?
Here's
Jared?
Here's what he said in
What?
his famous "We Choose to Go to the Moon" speech. Because I know you were saying it's easier to explore the ocean than it is to explore space. But in his great words, We do not do these things because they are easy, but because they are hard. We do not explore because exploring is easy. If we did what was easy, we would never explore in the first place. If the Pilgrims did what was easy, they never would have left England or Holland. They would have just stayed in Europe. But no, they went to Plymouth Rock and caused all sorts of different troubles with the Native Americans. But that's a different controversial topic for another day. But you see, we don't do things because they're easy. We do them because we're hard. Because if we don't do what's hard and we don't challenge ourselves, we're just going to stay in a loop of monotony.
Which is why we should explore the depths of the crushing dark ocean. It is scary down there, and this, Jared, I disagree with you. The scary fish and the darkness and the pressure are what make it worth it.
I was gonna say, like, it's like the bottom of the ocean's not scary. Have you seen some of the crazy stuff they find down there?
Have you watched Finding Nemo? That anglerfish, he is a spooky boy.
You think, okay, so you think the bottom of the ocean is scary, and I admit it is. Imagine space. You got black holes that could rip you apart, stretch you down into atoms.
So why would you want to go to that place?
Well, you were just saying dangerous. I'm just taking his danger route. He said going dangerous is intense, and we do it because it's hard. Space is that much more infinite. Also, if you're going by oceans, if you're talking about oceans in what we understand as ocean being the being Earth itself, then you're restricting yourself to only one planet of influence. Whereas if you're talking about space, you have everything within space, which includes all of the oceans on all of the planets, depending on how we're defining this. So if you were just talking about the Earth's ocean, I've already got you beat, because I could call in all of the different oceans from all the different planets that we have discovered, like Europa, and the different moons that satellites are starting to send back images of in the rings of Saturn and Jupiter. And there's another point I was going to make about space. Oh yeah, when you're talking about water, sometimes water can be a little bit irritating, because if you're talking about oceans and that cycle creates one of our least favorite things from several episodes back, rain. And are you really going to take the side of rain again?
But doesn't it also lead to snow, because it's still precipitation?
Okay, fair enough.
You know,
okay.
It's a lot of talk to say water's irritating from someone who argued last episode about baths, pro-baths.
Oh.
But baths are contained. You see,
so is the ocean, buddy. So is the ocean.
A single planet, as you just said. And maybe we should be only contained to a single planet. LJ, I'm going to have to bring in C.S. C.S. Lewis, that is. Have you ever read his space trilogy?
Yes. And he talks about how beautiful the rest of the universe is, and how by going to all of these other planets, he gets closer to God, because he gets to see what the universe is like on worlds not touched by sin. And in the end of the trilogy, if you've read all three books, if you've read That Hideous Strength, in the end, Dr. Ransom does not return to Earth, his homeland. He goes to Paralandra. He goes to Venus. Because, yes.
No. I know that is true, but you are missing a crucial detail. It was a great sin to leave the planet. Their spaceship leaving is actually what invited the demons from That Hideous Strength to ravage the Earth in the first place. Not ravage the Earth, but it causes some serious problems, because they broke a giant celestial
That is
law.
because they did it against the will of God. Ransom travels throughout the universe with the will of God.
So we are now changing that. Space travel with the will of God. That is a different thing, sir.
God does not say a thing about the oceans.
So, yes, but it's already here. Leaving the planet's a whole
We're
different
starting
issue.
to move into science fiction. We need to stay in science fact.
Okay, but I don't know. I think by C.S. Lewis's standards, All of the space launches were sin. Sorry, John F. Kennedy.
You know, there are a lot of arguments about the ocean that you two could be making right now. Like legitimate good arguments that I feel like I should switch sides.
Because the animals down there are dope and terrifying, and I love them.
But your mind, our God is an infinite God, and the heavens reflect His majesty. We should be doing all we can to learn about that. Not that we may fully understand God, because we cannot fully understand God, but with every bit that we explore, every bit we learn, it causes thousands of new questions, thousands of new mysteries, and we should embrace that mystery, embrace the unknowable, the unreachable parts of space, rather than staying contained on one planet.
I'm gonna Google how much of the ocean is unexplored.
In the meantime, try and help out balance this argument here. Sorry, but on that note about exploring space, finding the deepest reaches of what God has made, one of probably the most remarkable things that He has made is life, and the oceans contain probably I don't know the exact facts on this, but has pretty much the largest amount of biodiversity on this planet compared to land. And considering how little we've explored of the ocean, there is so much more that we can discover about life and how it has evolved over time by exploring the deepest depths of the ocean and finding all that.
Yeah. HowStuffWorks.com reports the ocean takes up 71% of Earth's space, yet a whopping 95% of that ocean is completely unexplored.
Not to mention not just Earth's biological history, but also just Earth's geological history, as there is a lot of geological formations down there as yet undiscovered, and as well and also various trenches. And
The Doctor exists in space. He doesn't exist underwater.
But he's visited underwater.
Didn't you just
Not
tell
as
me
much.
to reach out to not go so far into science fiction?
Well, if you're going to, then two can play at this game.
Okay. Maybe that just means that so far it's just been an underrated place for science fiction to explore.
Are you kidding? They did it in 2061. You've never read 2061 Odyssey 3?
No?
Ooh, you're missing out.
All right. Do we have any other major arguments?
I mean, I have one massive trump card against ocean, but I don't feel like I need to use it.
Do it.
Do it.
Just
I
please
want
do
to
it.
see.
All right then. Exploring the ocean, while it can come up with a lot of great discoveries, oftentimes exploration often has a monetary purpose, but economic purpose behind it, and we've exploited our world enough. Why try to discover more things down there that companies are just going to go in and exploit for
Maybe
their own
we'll
personal
figure
gain?
out how to save it.
Space, at least, the asteroid belt doesn't mind getting mined out too much.
We
but
can figure
The
out how to
valuable
save the
life
Earth.
forms down there are reliant upon the stable ecosystem that could be disrupted if we were to go down there and
We shouldn't
look
be
at it all.
disrupting any ecosystems, and our exploration into underwater is going to do that.
We just need strict communism to keep us all in line. Right, Kyle?
I agree.
Jared agrees. Let's all switch to the Soviet Union, and then we should explore the oceans.
Trigger USSR theme.
So, and any other comments?
The heavens declare His majesty and reflect His glory.
I think we won this, Jared.
You won this. I barely talked.
Okay. Have a good week, guys.